All right, I believe we are live. Let me just double check to see if everything is in place. Let's see. Um, go just 1 second. Yes, there we go. I'm definitely live. So let me just get right on it. All right. Hey everyone. Whether you're checking the VOD or you know uh, coming in, I'm just gonna go right ahead and test the Gargoyle update because they just dropped the beta. And, Thrones of Blood is coming next month. There were a few changes, I don't think this was quite as big an update as Griffin as far as changes were. I think there was some change to. They definitely changed architect and not in a way I would say I appreciate all that much, but I think it makes sense. They limited the infinite scalability, which that part is fine, and they did make some changes as far as Affinity Incarnate and the damage channels that you get access to, because basically now you'll just be doing through that the damage of your dominant affinity. Now you can no longer grab, say, basically like all damage types for your units, which I think kind of puts a damper on what made Architect special. But, this is a beta. Maybe they'll go back on that. Maybe they won't go through with that change. I think the limiting the scalability of Affinity Incarnate is fair enough. But, maybe it would be nice to see that changed. But the fun thing, the thing that is more interesting for this beta is, of course, the rework for Dark Culture. And I'm just gonna get right into it, just play around a bit with it. I don't really have a super specific build in mind, but let's just go for a pretty catch-all sort of setup. I think that King Sighted would help because they do have the Warlocks, and I think it's a culture that does benefit its ranged units more. And why not Arcane Focus? And then. Actually, no. I think I'll skip Arcane Focus because the thing is, Warlocks now get a mount, which I think is pretty interesting. So I guess we could very well go. Although we could go, just tentatively put Mount Masters because that doesn't count 3 points. And then Arcane Focus. I think that's a fair enough setup to at least try it out. So now Dark, we have 2 subcultures, and it's pretty much like Feudal, just got 2. You know, 3 would be nice, but I don't think it's a hard requirement. From reading the patch notes, the differences are significant, but still feel pretty much like Dark. Cult of Tyranny is interesting because it became a different way to go into the vassal strategy. They pretty much use prisoners from the prison building in a new way where basically the prisoners act as the whispering stone for your culture, which I think is very, very neat. I think that's going to be quite interesting to look right into and see how that plays out. And, well, Cult of Death, from my understanding, there's also some enhanced buildings. I still have to look more into it. I was more interested in trying out Tyranny, which is basically a rework of the old core culture because it's kind of like how Monarch feels the closest to old feudal. And yeah, I'm curious as to how far we can go. Just see, uh, go to war with maybe a few free cities and establish a few vassals. See how that all plays out. Because it says that when you take over a city now with Cult of Tyranny, you once you have the option to basically release it as a vassal, you can actually you actually do get one of their heroes as a sort of hostage, which I found quite interesting actually. So I'm gonna go with Cult of Tyranny. And now, since we're going to focus on vassals, even though I don't have a clear bill in mind, I think which one was it? I believe it was yes, Relentless Crusaders. Because basically, even though ironically this is a good aligned trait, this does give you Imperium for killing Empire units, and I think it just overall benefits you being in a war. So I think this is pretty good. And as for the other trait, I'm not quite sure. I mean, we do have a lot of options, and to be fair, there's some new stuff in the Pantheon that I didn't have the time to unlock because as of right now I don't have the points, but there's even a new trait that's a nature trait, Apex Predator, where basically you get more resources from pillaging and all that, which would play nicely with this build, but as I don't have it unlocked, we'll have to settle for something else. I suppose since we're going, you know, this way, I don't think there's. Oh, Ruthless Raiders. That. Yeah, I think this works fine. So basically, I, it's surprising those two traits don't conflict, but I think they'll play well for, a total war sort of stance against free cities and other empires. As for tomes, well, we definitely have options, but since we're just playing for a little while, I don't think we'll get too far past tier 1 and 2, so maybe we could keep it simple. Since we do have warlocks, well, I mean, this is a very strong tier 1 tome regardless of what you're playing. So, but I would also like. It's a shame we don't have the new tomes in this beta, but it's behind the DLC, so fair enough. Let's see. I think we'll go with. I mean, we will have to go astral if I do want to focus on our casters anyway, so might as well go tentacle.
What is your ruler's origin?
As for our ruler, let's keep it simple. I'll go dragon.
Reveal yourself.
Uh, I, yeah, I don't plan on customizing this a whole lot. Let's just get. Hmm, dragons have a little bit of same face going on if you play a lot of dragon. But yeah, let's keep this one, the serpentine head, with. Let's just complement it with. No, I think that looks a little silly. Uh, yeah, let's go like this. As for class, Warlock makes sense. And let's go Shadow Dragon. Let's just tweak this. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks presentable. Yeah, it's a matter of pose sometimes. All right, let's just final tweak. There we go. I think that looks cool enough.
Your journey
And
begins.
ruler ambition, we do have to be a little mindful of this one. Um, imperialist. Yeah, there we go. This one's gonna be good. And no, I'm not gonna go into advanced settings. Usually, I like to pick my two initial heroes now that we have the power to do that. But I'm not gonna uh, do that. That's gonna take a little while. Let me just go back and change the faction color very quickly. Make sure it's that. Oh, I would prefer, yeah, this. There we go. So with that done, I think we're ready to go and just go for a new match.
Choose your destination.
Let's just go for a very simple realm. I just want to make sure we have plenty of cities to go against. Not city states, but I think might makes right would work well with this. And well, no, I think this is good. Maybe city states if we wanted a little bit of a challenge, or no, I think this is good. I'm gonna just go with that. I like to add crystalline abundance just because sometimes mana likes to be a little bit annoying. And well, let's see what else do we have. Nothing I would call super important actually. Let's just go with yeah, let's go with hostile houses since we are focusing on that. And maybe explorative underground just to keep everyone more or less on top of that. Let's just I don't want any custom rulers. Yeah, that should be it. Pretty quick setup, nothing too important. No, I don't want to save it. It's just for a quick match. Now let's go with this. Well, and that should be it. Let's see how. Oh, and as you see, the warlock is mounted, so that's going to be interesting just to play around with. I think the constricting part of the tentacle stone is going to play nice with the unit, the battle mage. So let's see, baneful curse. Okay, and conjure tentacle, which basically is the best tier 1 spell that we have. Okay, let's let the scout. And is there any battle we can do on turn 1? No, because that's on the water. Let's just select this and move our way to this. Oh, we do already get the warlock on start. Yeah, as you can see, on horseback, that's going to be nice for mounted strategies. So let's see what to produce. I would say, wow, now they have stability malice from putting a collector up. That's interesting. I don't think it was like that, but then again, I haven't played a lot of Dark Culture lately. It's been a few patches since I've tinkered around with one. So let's keep going. Yes, here we have no sign of the first city, which should be a city of the same culture. Let's go. Oh, my bad. Um, I meant to manual that because these first battles, as I've said time and again, these matter quite a bit as far as how you'll fare in the other battles of the early turns, because the more damage you take, the more you're going to suffer from it. The interesting thing is, let me just check. Yeah, they did tweak the foot soldier to be more expendable. So let's see. When this unit dies in combat, it is revived at the end of combat if its owner is victorious. Oh, but it is a lesser resurgence. Let's see. Does it get better with the? It does not. It would be a little too strong if it was greater resurgence. But the fact that they do come back is, um, yeah, more interesting. So let's do that. And oh, the pursuer is also mounted. So yeah, we're getting a lot of our ratio units mounted up. I'm just gonna move a little bit ahead. I think it was a mistake to bunch up, but I'm not sure. I don't remember if these have an area attack. No, they don't. So thank goodness. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That puts them in a pretty uh, optimal position. No, I'm just gonna have at it. There we go. And this way I do block at least two of them. And the others, actually, should I? I think I should first go ahead. Let's go. And let's just Dragon Breath this. There we go, slowed, and now they're locked down. And of course, summon Tentacle, just make life that much easier. There we go. So now we should be mostly fine. Although they really are trying to kill... Oh, they did kill our foot soldier, so yeah, that resurgence will come in quite a bit handy. Let's see, does this kill any other? No. Yeah, I think this has to be the play. Then we do this. Yeah, the dragon will be able to kill. Yeah, we have the win condition already. There we go. There we are. So we did take less damage overall, even though one of our units kind of died. Oh, that's another downside. The movement gets reset, so yeah. Let's see. Maybe the city's in the other direction, but I'm gonna keep going. I'll at least do around here and try to get to the watchtower and get a better read on the situation. What would we... yeah, I think we can take this with this army. Yeah. Let's also start working on another immortal in the meantime. I don't... yeah, it probably is on the other side. We do want to get close, but not that close, because we don't regenerate right here. Let's see, we could go for... no, but that's occupied. That's gonna be more of a hassle, I think. Production at first with mine. That's gonna play better for us. Oh, it also said they changed on the patch notes. They were commenting on how they changed the weight of magic item distribution, but this seems a little unintentional. We're talking about 2 silver tongue fruits back to back. And is there any other magic material already? No, just those two. Well, we'll see. I think... No, that's not a magic item. That's just rain. Okay, let's... Oh, we got constricting focus, but I don't think we... Yeah, we won't have that for this turn. But I'm not gonna wait around for that turn. Alright, risky battle. I think with some positioning we can get rid of the worst of the risk, but I could be totally wrong and we may have bitten off more than we can chew. So I guess we'll see. A valid strategy would be, since we are of similar power, to just have one unit be in the range of their other unit. So we could do this, then move everybody else back, including our dragon ruler, but keep the dragon ruler somewhat close. And that should, in theory, help us, you know, kind of funnel them one by one, see how things play out. Okay, that isn't perfect, but I would say we're still in a pretty good condition. The spread isn't ideal for the dragon breath unless I go for this, because I could just hit 2 of them no matter what I did, so might as well block them this way. And if I conjure the tentacle here, then we have... Well, this would do a lot of damage, but let's see if the warlock can handle it. Oh, this is the best one for the warlock to handle. Yeah, okay, and it's weakened, so it's not gonna be doing as much damage to us. Well, let's try and get rid of one, because even at low health, it still will be a hassle. Although I could have... Yeah, I could have used the immortal now that I think about it. Let's try to constrict this one. Perfect. This will now not be a problem. If I was to assume, they'll probably bite this one to death. Probably, yeah. Since they have the shot. And this will either attack the warlocks or attack my dragon. I think they'll attack the warlocks, given how the AI plays out. Let's see. Yeah, as expected, but we will get them back, so it's not the end of the world. And thankfully, they actually went for our leader. Let's see. Oh, it's attacking the tentacle, which is no problem at all. Still a very powerful summon, really. Because not only it slowed down the enemy, but it was basically a health bar to keep us safe. So now we have to think carefully about what we'll do, because we don't have enough for a second tentacle. I think this is the play. Yeah, a crit would have helped greatly, but since we don't have that, I think I'll have to rely on this. Weakened and misfortune, that should help us out a little bit. Yeah, low morale, and they're doing low damage because they're pretty hurt, and yeah, they're weakened. So now let's just go ahead and there you go. No units lost technically, thanks to the resurgence. And there we are. Now we can annex another province. Oh, we could focus on growth, but I still prefer the money. I think that's better in the long run. Since we are a warlock, let's see, we can do the Blood Pact or the Hex Pact. It would be nice to, just slap this on our immortals, I think. Yeah, because they get the actual resurgence. So this could be useful to keep our soldiers healthier. We could kind of use this to trick uh, basically it into working a little more favorably, at least in the early game. Then we can respec. I don't think this will be such an upcoming necessity, so for the time being, let's just end turn. The watchtower is right over there. Oh, we do have a landmark. That's going to be useful. Yeah, I think we can reach enough of it to get its effect. Yeah, regeneration is going to be very, very handy. Mark of Tyranny. Yeah, and heal this unit. Yeah, there we go. Oh, this is actually a pretty good passive because it's sort of lifesteal and it makes enemies vulnerable. Very good rework. Oh, and since we can annex this again, I would say now is the time to get the pastures and focus on growth. And what else? We should probably go for the Dread Spire because the sooner we get the morale problem sorted out, the better. At least that's how I tend to prefer play this sort of thing. We're gonna heal up for a turn and then yeah, I think we can take this on fairly. Yeah, it's but it is an architect, so we will have to contend with the turret. So yeah, it's better that we did spend this time recovering. Now let's give our warlocks constricting focus. Yeah, and we're getting a soldier next turn, but I don't think we'll see it for this battle. Maybe we will. Depends on how far it runs. All right. Now, let's... Oh, we actually will see it in battle, so very good. Yeah, this should be simple enough. We just have to be mindful of the architect in particular. That because no matter what, they're going to slap down a turret and it's going to hit us. So we might as well rush in because they are supports. We have chargers, and even though we do have our back line, we don't want them pinning down our. Oh, let's see. This is one thing I miss having a way to leave the because some turn-based strategy games have something you click and it shows all the possible movement area. But I think this is it. This doesn't. Yeah, this is safe enough. And yep, just out of reach, but within enough reach. Oh, and yes, I should give blood back to this one. So we can use that one more recklessly if we find that appropriate. Oh yeah, that's just defense mode and Harry. There we go. Oof. It'd have to be spirit, specifically spirit. That's a little annoying. But we can also dispatch it pretty well, so wasn't the worst damage for us. I think yeah, I think I'm gonna play the odds of constricting it with the repeating attacks. Oh, there we go. It is constricted for the turn, so can't go anywhere, so it is as good as useless. This gives us the opportunity to just drop a Frost Breath on the Architects and start working on that. Then drop the Tentacle to make sure they don't go anywhere. There we go. Of course, they're going to keep running away, but charging is good for our foot soldiers, so I'm not going to complain. Yeah, this is a good charge. The only annoying thing is they're going to keep running away, so going to be a little bit of a chase, but other than that, I think the pursuers can, yeah, they can do. It is a vulnerability, so oh yeah, see that status vulnerability opened it right up to all the debuffs from the warlock. Will it get constricted again? Yes, it did. Very good odds with all the changes. I can basically get rid of any one of them, but this one is trapped because they really can't do a thing. Oh, here we go. Which choice made simpler. So basically, we get rid of this, and this one can't do anything. So pretty safe turn. See, this is why constricting is such a good tome on top of the summons, and I think it blends quite well with the weakening focus of Cult of Tyranny now. Yeah, I think we're starting to see a strategy and a synergy take place. So basically, you do want to open with the pursuers and then wail on them with the warlocks. And it's very nice that our infantry is basically a throwaway kind of thing. Oh yeah, we didn't have that. Thank goodness it didn't die, because I was thinking of basically using this to heal because it was below 50% health, and if it did die and it had the resurgence from Warlock, in theory at least, we would be talking about this coming back with more health than it got into battle, which is very rare given how Paradox is very, very watchful of healing in Age of Wonders 4. So it would be a pretty fun way to kind of exploit that. Oh, here we go, finally. And we don't have a Whispering Stone to give them, so we might as well. Actually, I think it's good if we clear this around a little bit, then go and take this over. Yeah, we're not here to make friends with them. I just hope this doesn't upset like the rest of your race. They'll be displeased. Yeah. Okay, so either I pay, since we are going to fight them, this is better. You know, let them think less of us. We're going to fight them, so better than having a stability crisis in our hands. Let's. I think. Yeah, this should be a pretty stupidly simple fight. I'm starting to, of course, feel the difference in mobility from us having the mounted mages and the pursuer, and the immortals not being mounted. But I think once we get to the, think Tyrant Knight, which is the new name for Dark Knight, we'll kind of have a better melee line. Yeah, this can go pretty far. Hmm. I think the game here, the play is luring them, so let's lure them with this Act of Eternal Servitude. Which, by the way, I do think, I mean, we don't know for sure, but when Thrones of Blood come out, Warlock might be a very solid class for it. I'm thinking Warlock and Spellblade might be the go-to classes for your Vampire Lord, but that will depend quite a bit on the signature skills, which they did highlight on the blogs that they are trying to match all the sort of different vampire fantasies. So I'm very curious as to what venues of strategy that will open up, since there's always the possibility of there being a synergy between one of those abilities and a particular class. But from just feeling alone, gut feeling, I think the right call is probably going to be Warlock or Spellblade. Now, I do think Warlock has a little bit more of an edge on it because, if I'm not mistaken, one of the vampire trees is basically letting you uh, try and capture enemies and control them. And the Warlock tree does have a branch that is all about basically inflicting a lot of morale damage and capturing the enemy. So we'll see about that. Um, can I hit all of them with a breath? I do. Yes, perfect. Knew I had an opportunity here. Now let's. I know I'm using up a lot of mana early on by summoning the tentacle, but even though it is costing us what little mana we have, this is saving us a lot on HP and campaign momentum, so I think it's worth the trade-off early on, even if we're not producing as much. Oh, they're really focusing down on it. And see, they're attacking the tentacle instead of attacking my dragon ruler, so this is already very much worth the mana cost. There we go. Now, can... No, it can't deal a killing blow to this. Oh, I think in this case, yeah, it's better to lose a few attacks and do the killing blow. There we are. Good. Yeah, and we did get more mana than we spent, so pretty good stuff. Let's see, our pursuer. There any? Oh, there we go, mana pickup. That's gonna be handy. Mark of Tyranny. Oh, we could go for the Constrictor, which in a way is better than the Immortal, but the Immortal has the benefit of being easier to recruit and replace, since it is basically undying. Let's see. Oh, we did get 2 pastures, so we could grow pretty fast. Yeah, let's go for that and keep going north. Think we'll swing by this and maybe these before fighting them. We'll see in what shape we arrive around here, and then we'll try the whole tyranny thing and make this city into a vassal. Our first vassal, to see how this whole culture plays out. All right. Let's just get this out of the way. We do want the tavern first and foremost. And now that we have it at tier 2, let's get working on a warlock. Iron Guard. Hmm. Okay. Very good. We'll have to wait and see on the new adjustments. I think that was pretty much the same thing as it was pre-rework. The subculture with newer units is the other subculture, the Cult of Death. So we'll have to see how. I'll have to see some other time how that one plays out. We could get a Wild Speaker unit, which is a summoner. Yeah, I think that's the right call. And we got some production out of that, so very nice. Because summoning something and the Wild Speakers did get a nice buff in the, I think it was last patch, yes, in Griffin update. So we'll go with that. Is there? Wow, the crystalline abundance really went for abundance here. Okay, we met our first, and it's another dark culture. All right. Oh, it is a giant. That's going to be maybe not so fun to fight against. Giants are pretty strong, and well, since we are dragons, they already have a negative opinion of us, so I guess it will be a matter of total war after all. Okay, let's see the options we have. We have a warrior. Oh, we have a warlock, an elementalist, or a warrior. Hmm. Well, as far as their governor bonuses go, more stability, which would be good for dark, but all of them would give stability. More mana, but you know what? I think I'll go with the elementalist, even if uh, her ambition isn't perfect. I think it would complement as well, better than having someone with the exact same trait as our leader, because the elementalist has some pretty powerful stunts. Oh, and they did declare war on us, so I guess we definitely are enemies now. So, might as well go all out and fight them. And since now we do have the possibility of running into heroes, hmm, no, I'm curious if this, since prisoners count as Whispering Stones, at least according to the patch note, I'm curious if of how literal that is, because in this case, we might be talking about this working or not. So it's a matter of whether it really works as one or if it's just similar to one. Bounty has been posted. No, I think we're going to fight anyway, so might as well not. Okay, we'll have to get the silver tongue fruit. You freed that up, so I think any moment now we should get it. Just hurry production here, so yeah, we have good stability. And what next? I think first off we'll go, yeah, with the Tendril Labyrinth. How are we coming along on that Warlock? Still 4 turns. How expensive would it be to get it now? 192. It's a little steep, and I don't think it would be ready on time to for first engagements. So target vessel city no longer gains allegiance. Oh, they really are going all out on the vassal vibe for cult of tyranny. That's nice. Okay, there we go. They might have more armies, but I guess we'll wait and see. Another magic material. Where there more magic? Wow, that's because that's a silver tongue fruit. We have three silver tongue fruits back to back. I did do think that their tweak of magic materials did make something a little strange, but this is just one match. It could be a load of other reasons. It's just funny that, the closest magic materials are all the same thing, and only here we're seeing a different one. All right, let's see. Hmm, it didn't change that much, the price. We could fight this, but this one I think will stay put no matter what we do. Let's let me just check. Yeah, I think. Wow, we actually have a whole collection nearby because with all the silver tongue fruit, and then we have this, and then right over there we have haste berries. That's gonna be quite easy to snag in a long playthrough. Okay, so I guess we're. Oh, it's okay. Let's go for manual combat then. Didn't even need a siege. Very good. Hmm. Come on, wall speaker, give us something good. Hmm. Yeah, this is a very decent unit. We do want to block that one out so it doesn't bother us. Hmm. Could. Yeah, let's do that. There's a good chance they'll get constricted. Yeah, go for it. Oof, that's. Whoa, that's something they need to work on. I clicked on the Sundering Curse and wow. Maybe it's because they're mounted, but the animation was really weird. I'm gonna I'm gonna see about sending a report or something because that was quite unusual. First time I see a bug of this level. All right, charge. Ooh, we don't have our spells just yet. I think. Yeah, well, let's just go for it and. Can they hit? No, they can't. Yeah, they're pretty trapped. So okay, that's about what we can do this turn. Ooh, froze, but at least it was the soldier, so no harm, no foul. Ooh, taunted. That's a little annoying. they're really going for our leader. At least it's healing up a bit. Okay, let's see this ability. Oh yes, we can reposition. Very handy. I think there's some really weird stuff going on with the animations because of the mounted thing. We're gonna have to see about that because that's pretty funny. Hmm. Let's see. Does this? I think. Yeah. Well, let's do that and then have these hold the other back. Hmm. Not a good shot, but oh, we can get rid of their ice elementals. That's very good. Now let's see if we can do anything about that. Oh, they have steadfast. That explains a lot. Now they're constricted. It would be ideal if they weren't constricted right next to my leader, but they might oh, they did kill our leader. That's pretty annoying. I should have checked the ability. Now, I think we'll still win. It's just annoying that we'll have to deal with that a few turns without our dragon ruler. Yeah, I think that one's dealt with. Yeah, battle's won. There we go. Now we're going to vassalize it just to see how it all plays out. For the time being, we'll have to wait for our ruler to return. Next tome, we could go for... I mean, lightning focus would be nice for electrified. Yeah, a little extra damage. We could also go for... No, this one is just for ranged units. Maybe... Oh, we could go for firing chant, condemnation. No, the faith, I believe. But this one is mostly for... No, let's go with... Warning is also good. Honestly, the Phantasm Warrior is a very nice unit. I think I'll go Evocation. I think that's... I'm gonna just focus on damage.
Just as you may effectively utilize the protective potential of magic.
Well, at least completed a major ambition. And, oh, we did capture someone anyway, so... Okay. Oh yeah, we did get the silver tongue fruit from vassalizing them. That makes a lot of sense. We could get a warlock, or we could get population. Mending touch wouldn't be bad. Having a heal on an elemental is just kind of I like more unique rewards generally, so I'm gonna go with giving our hero a heal. Let's go for, yeah, some extra mana. And this isn't important. Okay. And we are getting. We are getting, because of hostages, we are getting more points. I suppose because it's on a per prisoner basis, the more at war you are with, say, a city state, the more prisoners you get. So if you wanted to really, fast track having a vassal, I guess what you would do is try to get a lot of their heroes killed. And then once you do, you, or rather, captured, more importantly, then you fill up your prison with them and then you vassalize them. Well, since we're waiting on our ruler to come back to life, I suppose we'll go down here and try to just wait around and play a few battles just to get some experience in his absence. Oh, and we did get, because we did vassalize them, we got yet another hero for him. That's very good. All right, that would be it. Yeah, I'm liking this rework so far. I think it still feels pretty much like Dark Culture as we know it, but it has more stuff. I like the vessel focus. Vessels have become, I think, increasingly more useful along during the patches. So it's very nice to have another culture that has a strat. Basically, they're better for it. Yeah, let's just go for this. Stability is pretty good. I mean, it's kind of obvious that they're also, redoing Dark Culture now because it probably will play out really good with the Vampire Ruler, but I kind of don't want to make it so standard that the first build I do is Dark and Vampire Ruler. I think there are interesting alternatives to that. Oh, there we go. We already have our dragon back. Now, who will I transfer over? I think I'll have the hero stay with the infantry, and then I'll have an all cavalry army for our dragon. That should make them more mobile. We don't have a whispering stone, so I guess anyway it wouldn't work. Mm. Oh, hey, Bootman. There you are. I wasn't checking chat, but yeah. uh, yeah, you know, it. I didn't put any affinity to it. I just wanted to go for a dragon because, yeah, it was the easiest thing. I wanted a quick early game, a simple early game. So it was either that or giant, and yeah, I just wanted to go giant. Um, yeah, I mean, just want to go dragon. Okay, so first Hmm. This would be neat if I was going for Cult of Death because it's a free embalmed thing. Their whole resources. So basically, one subculture is all about the prison, the other one is all about the crypt, which is kind of interesting. They're moving more towards that strategy of playing with these structures, which is nice. I think we do have plenty of gold. Summoning. Ooh, we're getting a giant item with this one, so please. That's very nice. I think I'll give that to my Dragon Ruler because summoning lava is very, very neat. Okay. Now I guess we'll have to wait for another minor city to show up. So let's explore a little further. Surely there's someone out there because I didn't put anything to make the distance between players and all that larger. I just went with default settings. So, but as I was saying, this does play very nice with the vessel strategy. I think in maps with a lot of city states and all that, it's going to be pretty fun to keep up the war with the city states and basically aggressively take over rather than try and play the typical game with the Whispering Stones. I'm actually surprised this one didn't surrender immediately. I mean, we did do outpower them quite a bit. Let's just go with Frost because I do want a good stun. Now we can annex another province. I think, yeah, I'll go for production. And then annex this because if I'm not mistaken, this structure is going to do amazing in this province here because it's going to be adjacent to everything else. Very good. Let's see. Is this? No. I think this is more land. Oh no, it's sea, so I'm surprised how empty this the surrounding area is. Usually there's more stuff going on, but usually I'm playing with also quite a lot of infestations, so the fact I didn't put any in this particular save makes things feel a little peaceful. Maybe a little too peaceful for me because I do quite like farming all the experience with the infestations. Hmm. No, that's fair enough. Stability is good, and we got some food, so let's go for that and get some gold. Here we are. Yeah, we're surprisingly swimming in gold. But yeah, I think I would have preferred, I think, having Apex Predator, but getting golden draft is also nice. But I should also make use of that by keeping the hiring going on. Otherwise, all that draft is going to waste. Let's go for the stonemason, and I don't like my options. I'm gonna try. There we go, lightning focus. Hmm. I think I'll start going down that path, or maybe focus on this. Guaranteed weakened, which would play well with us. Healing would also go well with us. Hmm. Extra resistance, no. Retaliation would be nice. Actually, yeah, let's go with Astral Aspect because extra breath damage is pretty good. I think it's the better aspect of the dragon. Let's go with Cone and Quickened. There we go. And being harder to hit from range is very good. So, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty standard playthrough. Nothing too special, I would say. Just a little too quiet for my liking in this early game, but I guess that'll make us go a little further before, the stream time is up. Because I just intend to go on for maybe 50 more minutes or so. Just wanted to get a good feel of Dark Culture and the vassal things. So it would be neat before the hour is up to find another city and try to take it over. But we'll see how things progress. I think we might find something around here. Okay, now we got yet another item. Oh yes, there was some changes to magic materials where now before you had to have one of each. Oh, no, you do still have to have distinct ones, but because of the blood item, the new magic material coming with Thrones of Blood, now you need to have three uniques rather than having them all. Because the new unique one for the vampire is going to be from this collection. So instead of forcing us to have four, we'll just need to have three. So yeah, that's good. Now, yeah, the turns are flying by pretty quick now that we're not manualing every battle and there isn't a lot of infestations and such to deal with. Besides, I think we're getting decently strong with our initial army. Hmm. I think I'll actually have to found a city. How far are we from the? We're not that far. I guess we need. I need to just upgrade the castle once more. Start getting the benefit from this landmark. So in the meantime, I guess we'll. Oh yeah, no, I wanted to annex this, of course, and then I want to have a dark forge built here because of the benefits. And there we go, focused evocation. So now we have a pretty good stun on our hands. And sure, why not? Let's manual this one just to have a little fun. In case you weren't here when I was manual fighting things, Bootman, I quite like the immortal. The resurgence they get is lesser resurgence, so we won't see a lot of exploiting this because they come back with 10%. It's pretty low health, but it's still neat that you don't entirely lose the units. So in case you have one of them as at a pretty high level, that's going to be very nice to have just to you know keep a legend level unit around. There we go. And now let's just have this here. It will also be pretty neat to test out the new wand. Now let's get an animal here. Very nice to have a wild speaker as a random reward. Summons are busted by nature because it's just an extra health bar. Oh yeah, the the AOE regen supports are going to have a field day with the immortal traits. Yeah, because yeah, it's going to be pretty strong because And any strategy that you play that relies on, low health strats, Draconic Transformation is going to go wild on these guys because of Draconic Rage. I think I'll lock down their archers. And can I stun anyone? No, I can't. Not from this position. So yeah, I'm gonna go right over here and heal these guys up. The Pursuer is also pretty nice, in case you weren't here when I was testing it out, because, again, it's very good at repositioning and having their full salvo of shots. The animations are a little bit weird right now. I'll demonstrate it again. For instance, if I use this dark ritual, look at how look this happens. So I don't know what's going on here. I swear, my graphics card isn't screwed up. It just is this one particular ability on Warlock that, for some reason, does that. So yeah, I think they'll fix it up, once it's reported, and because Age of Wonders hasn't given me a lot of trouble recently. But yeah, that's pretty weird. You can also see a little bit of jank with this ability. Look, I think the horse flies off or something. Yeah, see, it has a little bit of stretching. Oof, this one's pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because the Pursuer and the Warlock were non-mountable units, and since I gave them mounts, they're acting really, really weird with it. But I'm sure it's going to be fixed by the time it's live. No, let's see. Oh, there we go. Testing out the new ones. Very nice that now we're getting to see, giant exclusive stuff as random drops. Now, let's use the most powerful tier 1 spell in the game. There we go. Oh, yeah, yeah. It isn't a very stable open beta, but, that's... I guess that's what it's there for. So by the time release comes out, uh, it doesn't have all this jank going on. But, as unstable as it might be, at least performance wise, I haven't run into any crashes or anything, and I hope I'm not jinxing it by saying it. But yeah, so far it's been very, very stable and fun. I definitely think Cult of Tyranny will be my favorite out of the two subcultures for Dark, because at least seeing here from the Vassal strategy, it's playing out pretty well. I got their leader when I attacked them, and then I got another one as soon as I vassalized them. So, and this added up to, let's see, how much am I getting? Where is it? Oh, here we go. I'm getting from each hostage. I'm getting +1, and these aren't exactly like easy to come by. It's kind of low bonuses that we really do get. And consider this, since this is on a per hostage basis, at least I think it is. Maybe it's a +2 as long as you have one, but I think it is +1 per hostage because I have two. This would make it so Dark is the only culture that can reliably have vassals during, say, those events that keep losing vassal points, and in those realms where you put everything to make pre-cities distrust their overlords. So if this scales with the amount of hostages you take, this is really, really good. It gives Dark something unique they can do. Oh, now we can change things. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Dominator. That's going to be good. Now, let's see. I think it's really weird how we haven't seen anything yet. You know, it would be very neat if the first merchant we see is the magic merchant, because I really could use revealing the world map right now. I just want to try and find a. I believe it does. I forgot what I was talking about. I think. Oh yes, yes. It's a per hosted basis, right? I was. Yeah, it's really good for the vessel strat. I like it, and it's in a unique, different way than the usual. I think I'll just auto this. It's not an important fight, and let's go for another one. The lifesteal that the dark culture has seems to really be pulling its weight because I'm not taking a lot of damage on auto combat. Usually, I take a lot more chip damage from just autoing up in a chain like this. Quelling magic. You know, yeah, I'm gonna go for this now. I'm gonna start this so I can get some free undead summons. Now, oh, okay. Let's keep growing the army. And I am shocked that in the match where I do want to run into another player or city, I don't find any. But when I don't want to meet anyone, they come out of the woodwork. Eesh. Let's go with yeah this for extra for frost damage and withering magic. There we go. We could because our vessel focused on the Tome of Frost, we could get another caster. So yeah, let's get the White Witch. Yep, there we go. And we'll keep growing our arsenal of. Oh, okay, that's all the way up there. I guess we can travel up there while I'm scouting around for new stuff. This is weird. I'm gonna go for this watchtower, see if I run into someone. Yeah, I mean, 23 turns in. Usually I take way longer in the early game than this to get to turn 23. Ooh, okay. Just a lot of force around. But, not the end of the world. Okay, let's. Should I? Yeah, let's. There we go. Now we can annex another province. Um. Oh, yes, I'll want another quarry here, so more bonus for the Dark Forge. This is either the player we ran into here or someone new. And there we go, we have the White Witch. Yet another caster for the army. Okay, another enchantment for our casters. And there we go, put you into this army. and get. Oh no, it's just the hostiles here. It's weird how empty this map is. They did say that it changed they changed a little bit of the map making, and I do feel it's a little tilted. Bootman, in case you weren't here when I was talking about it, they said they changed how magic materials spawn. And close to my city, I have one, two, three silver tongue fruits, and then the rest of the set rainbow clover here, and the haste berries right here. But the odd thing is that I got such a close by spawn of silver tongue fruit, because this is going to be very easy to grab up and uh, fulfill, but it's odd that it's all in the same spot. Could be a coincidence, but yeah, it's just something strange I noticed with this patch. And okay, let's do the quest battle. Actually, just give me a second before I do that. Let me just move one further. It's really strange that not a city, nothing. And the map isn't even that big. Yeah, I mean, surely I should have run into someone by now. Even a free city of another race, but no, nothing. Weird. Oh, they're trying to concentrate them more to encourage conquest. Yeah, I guess that's a direction they could go. Have someone kind of monopolize the. I suppose. But it's kind of weird because then you have a very stilted benefit. In a way, I think that will, in the silver lining of this, is you will have access to rarer setups that you get, rarer item forge stuff that tends to be locked behind having three of a specific magic material. So I guess all in all, it's a positive thing. A defender, or we could go for a battle saint. Well, you had me at battle saint. I love this freaking class. They did make some changes to the battle saint, but they were buffs as far as I could tell. Let's go with cleric. They changed, yeah, revive as expected. They changed the warding bond for Martyr's Blood. Oh, so they swapped the. Oh, they swapped it around. Yeah, that's good. I think probably a positive change. I would say is. Sorry, I'm just trying to see the changes. I don't think there were all that many changes because Smite is still the same. Yeah, I think it was just swapping some things around and making some options non-exclusive. So very positive overall. I think I'm gonna go with this and grant more fervor. Yeah, I think I can. No, I can't reach revive this turn. Yeah, let's go with Initiate of Shadow and support resistance and bolstering support, and we'll get this soon enough. Oh, I think the change made it so if you follow this closer, it's more difficult to get to. So now it is easier to stick to being a support than it is to kind of mix and match everything. But it doesn't forbid you. It just changed the path a little bit, so it's about what you prioritize. Yeah, not so bad. I think overall there were buffs for the Battle Saint, so I'm not gonna complain. Okay, let's get this hero rest, and let's do the quest battle. It's going to be annoying with grasping vines, but that could also play to our favor. Mhm. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna make use of this right away because worst case they'll focus down on it. So yeah, let's have the warlock right here in a. Yeah, let's just line up the obvious stuff. Let's get 3 summons. Yeah, since we might get immobilized, it's better to already have everyone in position. This should be a pretty straightforward battle, actually. They don't seem to have anything too frightening to go up against. Mostly melee infantry. Ooh, that was a lot of people that got immobilized. But at least they were in position, so no harm, no foul. Is yes, this is the hmm. Oh, and I can't even use the relentless pursuit. Interesting. I think we'll focus down one of them. That's probably a good call. Oh, the dragon wasn't immobilized. Very, very good. So I'll be able to do this. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get rid of this one if I can. I'll have to use the janky skill right here, so get ready for some glitched out screen. There we go. Oh, I was gonna say it wasn't that bad this time, but it was pretty bad. I could freeze, or yeah, let's do that. And oh, this is a almost guarantee freeze. There we go. Perfect. Hmm. Yeah, I think from all I'm seeing, this early game power is pretty solid for Dark Culture. I think the strongest thing they have going on really is the passive they have, where they have a chance to trigger weakened or and also life stealing. That I think pulls a lot of weight in the early game to make sure your troops stay healthy. There we go. That wasn't hard at all, even with the grasping vines in effect. Demoralizing this. Nail of the Razorback. None of these are particularly good, but I guess the armor, maybe. Okay, gain the level of renown. Then we can just slap that on you. And yeah. All right. Um, not a lot going on really. This has been a very idyllic sort of playthrough for the early games. We don't have any magic origin unit yet, so sure, I guess that's the one thing we can kind of benefit from. And a little extra damage. Oh, an infestation finally sending something for us. So I guess we can go down and check it out. Now, I'm also curious to uh, check out the Death Cult, but I still very much, I think, will focus on this one, as the game goes on, and build wise, I think, at least at the time being, it has more place because the other one I think is to benefit playing necromancers, which is fair enough, but maybe there's another angle I'm not seeing just from the description. Okay, rightfully declared. No need for a bounty, just hmm. Well, let's go with this. Wow, they really were sending. It's a really close by infestation. Eesh. Um. Okay, we have our hero right here, so might as well. Yeah, let's have a warlock ready to go. Yeah, we can launch the attack with the hero. Let's deal with that. I think this, I mean, based on, time remaining and how I'm really trying to find a city to besiege and finding nothing, this just might be the highlight, to cap things off. Uh, Okay, not close enough, so mostly need to watch out for the Phoenix. Those guys can be really annoying. Oh yeah, because I'm not accompanied by that other army. This is mostly a ranged army, so I'll need to be very careful. Although the wild speaker does give me some summons to help around. I feel I've made a mistake bunching up, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. No, thankfully not. Okay, to actually, I'll wait and see what I can do here. Oh, there we go. I think that's the best position for that. What are the odds of freezing? Oh, okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna try and get some vulnerability stacks on the Phoenix. And then I'll try and freeze it. Much better odds. And there we go. Frozen chicken dinner. That basically won us the battle because the damage we'll be able to inflict this turn without disturbance is going to be considerable. And sorry, screen jank again, because the Warlock ability is really weird. And, well, I'm sorry, I have to cast it twice in a row, but that's what I have range to do. Oh, okay, that one wasn't so bad. Well, now I'll get the tentacle here because, yeah, let's go for the crows. And I don't think they can do much damage this turn. Yeah, it's going to mostly attack the tentacle and maybe the rune still, I think. The pillar. Otherwise, they're. Oh, so they're attacking the summons, so nothing of value was really damaged this turn. Oh, it even dealt with these guys. Hmm. Okay. Let's see about. I guess let's. Well, I mean, I can buff anyone with this pact, so might as well buff the hero. And yeah, Dragon Breath. Although that's going to kill the Moonstone. This, on the other hand, will just damage the summons, so might as well. Should have attacked with them first. But, you know, doesn't matter. At least doesn't matter as much. We have to be careful because we don't want to deal enough damage for it to go down, because otherwise it's going to revive and be very annoying. But other than that, I think we're free to do whatever. Yeah, there we go. Leave it weakened but not down. And we might want to summon another tentacle here. Yeah, I'm gonna have that one constricted. And yeah, it's constricted. Yeah, that was a worthwhile gambit. Ah, well, it was going to go down anyway. And there we go. It wasted its turn just doing a very basic attack. That's pretty good. I think the damage from the pillar is going to end this. Maybe not, but okay, this one finishes this one off. I think. There we go. Wow, we didn't even deal. Well, I wasn't expecting I thought the Phoenix was still alive. I didn't expect it to take fire damage and actually go down. I thought they were basically immune, but doesn't seem to be the case. Well, looking at the fact that, you know, just a few minutes remaining, and yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of cities to go try and fight, so it would take quite a lot longer to do a full playthrough and try and show all the vassal stuff. But based on what I've seen, I mean, it's a basic thing, but it really feels as though this is an alternative to, needing to use Whispering Stones. Because we're, even with the houses being a little more hostile, and it isn't such a big change. I'm just gonna do one thing. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna rush gold just so we can see the Tyrant Knight. is there any massive change? I think just the ability here. Um, yeah, they okay. They move onto the tracks, cancel defense mode. It's a pretty good charge, and it even enters defense mode. That's a really good charging unit. And then they have despotic vitality. Ooh, this is a very good tier 3 unit to play around with. I like the changes to the Tyrant Knight. This is a pretty solid bit of cavalry. I'm not sure if the best cavalry in the game, but this is a very good cavalry. This is actually surprising. I'm gonna have to tinker around with ideas for shock units after seeing what the Tyrant Knight does, because this is. Oh, of course, it had to have a cooldown. This is really busted to use every turn otherwise. But trample is quite a skill. I like it. So yeah, everyone, I think I mean I could play a little longer, but I don't see a point. So I'm just gonna save here, and I'm gonna just quickly go to the menu just so we can take a quick look at the Pantheon, because I forgot to look into that when we started. Now we have pages. That's pretty neat. Yeah, take it easy, Bootman. So yeah, just looking here at the rewards, there's some neat new stuff. This is the primary thing that matters, the new society trait. I'm gonna try and get it because, food production wise, this is going to go pretty good for more aggressive cultures. Really like it, and extra rank for starting units. So it's a pretty good trait for an aggressive start. Other than that, the only other major thing we didn't check out was the other subculture. But I mean, it's going to be different, but I don't think super different. I also have to look into it because it is the one most unlike the prior. Oh yeah, pick that with Oathsworn Strife and Reclaimers. Oh yeah, that would go pretty hard. Apex Predator, Reclaimers, and Oathsworn Strife. It's basically a build made for raiding. It's going to, because you get a lot of resources just from pillaging and destroying everything. Yeah, that would go pretty hard on that angle, and would be very, very fun to play on a total war kind of map where you just have everyone hostile. And yeah, so oh, whoops, yeah. So I just didn't check the other culture, and I'm gonna do that on my own time with a little more patience. I think I'll get Dark Culture out before Throne of Blood. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I like this change. It wasn't as beefy as the Griffin update, but I think the Gargoyle update has a lot of goodies. I'm gonna also look into the cosmetics, although that doesn't matter as much. But it's neat because it's going to be like extra stuff to put on your heroes. The cape looks very fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So thanks everyone for checking it out, whether live or VOD. Thank you, Bootman, for being here.